We've all heard the classic phrase, you've grown taller, or you're starting to get acne. But nobody ever says, look how much wiser you've become, or you've developed so much courage. Strange, isn't it? But why don't we celebrate these changes the same way? People, starting with ourselves, tend to value and celebrate forms of growth we can see, instead of the essential growth that happens internally, like socially, emotionally, and mentally. Hi, my name is Yara Abdulhadi, and today I want to emphasize on an important concept we don't think about much, which is the unnoticed growth that happens within us. We focus so much on what we can see, but what about the growth we don't? The type of growth that determines how we live as individuals and our perception to the world and the people around us. Growth is more than just turning a year older. Personally, I used to think birthdays were just adding another candle on the cake. But now, I see birthdays from another angle. I see them as an opportunity to reflect on how I matured in the past year, and the path that leads for a year full of upcoming achievements and learning new things. As I think about my journey of growth, I've come to realize that the toughest moments shape us in ways we don't fully understand until later. A tough moment for me was dealing with a hard friendship. I would sometimes feel like the friendship was more of a burden than a blessing. And I'd ask myself why this happened to me, and why a friendship that was once so dear to me becomes something I was uninterested in. What I didn't know at that time is that I expanded my understanding on communication and setting boundaries. I may have learned it the tough way out, but now I gained knowledge on how to build a healthy relationship, which I guarantee will last a lifetime. If you come to actually think about it, growth isn't just about reaching a destination. Many people think growth is over when they graduate school, get a job, or win something. But growth is much more than accomplishing or winning something. Growth is a journey we go through every day in our life. It's a process of constant success and failure. You're probably going to stumble and struggle, but those moments build resilience. As I think about my journey of growth, I've come to realize that growth isn't just about reaching milestones. It's about who you become along the way. This past summer, I decided to challenge myself and learn piano on my own. I never had any formal practice in music, but I decided to give it a try and see how far I can go with just the help of online resources. I saved up for it and got it. At first, when I saw all 88 keys in front of me, I felt so overwhelmed, and I instantly regretted it. As I was sitting there, questioning my decisions, I realized that I saved up for it and got it, and the whole point was to challenge myself and embrace the learning journey. I watched countless YouTube videos, but each one left me more confused. When I shifted my perspective into thinking struggle is a part of the process of growth, everything changed. I began to approach sitting at the piano differently. I started to see it as an opportunity to grow and develop a new hobby. Growth isn't just about, I started to take small steps, like identifying keys, to eventually reading sheet music. At first, I felt like these goals were too simple and I felt ashamed. But I said to myself, nobody is perfect. Everyone starts somewhere. And that alone made each mistake an opportunity to expand on what I already know. It made it such an easier journey. 2 months in, I decided to check in and see how far I've went with just the help of online resources. I was so amazed to see how much I improved. I began to realize that it wasn't just a journey of playing a few simple songs, but mainly who I was becoming along the way. Piano taught me skills like discipline, patience, and even consistency. It wasn't easy, but it became really essential to what I view growth to be right now. So, I'll leave you with a question. Think about a time when you faced a challenge and handled it better than you did before. That's a sign of growth too. With that in mind, how will you celebrate your own growth? Will you see it in the way you handle challenges or in the person you've become?